As a farmer in this productive nation of ours, you have unequaled independence of action and the complete freedom to choose the equipment you believe meets your needs best of all. This invariably brings together machines in all the colors of the rainbow: red, orange, yellow, green, blue, and purple too, perhaps. One color may be dominant in your collection of farm equipment, and you may prefer tractors of a particular make. Whatever that may be, we'd like to present a complementary implement that's unsurpassed in performance and that can be matched to a tractor of any color perfectly. Red, orange, yellow, green, blue, yes, even purple.
Well, I think it's time to fire this baby up. Couple of last minute things to do before I crank it over. Check fluids. Yep. Probably everything's painted on. Oh, that could use a little bit. So I got to top off the hydraulic. I put coolant in. Engine oil. It's actually just a hair high, but the filter is empty and so is the cooler. So we're good with that. There we go. Just a little over full, but cooler's empty, a few other things. So it'll be all right. These early Perkins I had a 4-lobe oil pump, and because of that, they would have a tendency to not prime up the best. Come on. There we go. So what I am going to do is pour a little engine oil down in there just to help feed a little to the pump before we crank. Fresh, clean oil, although there's oil there. I think we're pretty much there. Open a door, get some fresh air, and we'll see what happens. All right, moment of truth. That's what I was afraid of. Oil pressure ain't building. Well, I've got a trick for that. It's a messy one. And there it is. Ew. Guess I should put rags out first. oil filter. Let's see if it moves. Touching the heat exchanger here, it's warming up, so that means coolant is circulating, which is a good thing. Now get this panel on. I am using that somewhere hopefully safe. I got a stainless steel bolt kit from Corvus Oliver. Well worth the money. Everything you need to put the sheet metal on. I like that they include these rubber-backed washers that helps keep sheet metal from vibrating and screws coming loose. Somebody might be wondering why there's a hole here in the hood. Got a cap for it. And what it's for is if for some reason you don't have a tractor without hydraulics, especially an industrial version, but occasionally ag ones would get out, where they just needed something to pull stuff around with. To have power steering, they had a pump that ran off the front belt, and the reservoir would come up through the hood here, and there was a dipstick to check your oil. Get in there. Is this not the right size? Well, I think it appears I messed up, because this ain't the cap for there. This is the cap for back here. I don't suppose this is the one for up there. Guess I'll pop it out real quick and see. But probably, well, this one is a little bigger in diameter. That would explain a lot. Yep, I did it. It's green on the back side. This is the one from the hood. Go figure. Now I've probably dented these tabs in enough to where they ain't gonna pop in. Hey, there we go. Use the old meat hammer. And of course the finish ain't quite as good on this. So I think I'll do a little wet sanding and buffing on it so it matches the hood. There we go. Right cap in the right spot. Now you just gotta love pipe thread fittings. Again, just a little seepage around here. And I tried tightening it up. I was tightening it up into the housing more, but not here at the fitting, so I figure I better just pull it back apart and re-dope it up. I guess it'll wash. I was asked in a previous video about what I do to apply decals. First thing I do is look for dust. It will make for an air bubble. Pull the decal up. This is 2000 grit. Buff them back up with some compound. I mounted it on the panel already to make sure I get it facing the right direction. I'd hate to put it on this white piece and then find out I put the decal on upside down. I'm not sure if that's even possible, but this helps eliminate that problem. This is the fine cut for the mirror glaze finish. I'm just washing it off with a little Dawn dish soap and water. Just to get any of that residue off so the decal sticks good. Now some guys will actually spray a film of soapy water or water on here or on the decal, and it'll kind of float on that water, and you can adjust it around until you got it where you want, and then you take a squeegee and push it out. I've never tried that. I don't know, it just seems counterintuitive to me to put water on a decal you're trying to make stick, but people that are better at this than I am have done it, recommend it, including Oliver Decals, Lyle and Helen Dumont. That's where I get my decals. Lyle says he doesn't even use soap, just sprays them down with some water and they have the best decals in my opinion. Let's see, hydropower drive. Yeah, right here. Make certain the paint has had ample time to dry, To apply decals, we suggest you measure where you want the decal to be placed, spray area with a light mist of water, remove backing a decal, spray with a light mist of water, do not soak. Apply the decal, squeegee it down and wipe excess water with a soft cloth. Remove top overlay covering from decal. Some decals will not have the top overlay. Start at one corner and pull carefully at a sharp angle. Careful not to remove any part of the decal. If part of the decal starts to lift, press the overlay covering back down as well as the decal and then start to remove again. So yes, they recommend misting it. I think I'm just a little crooked. Carefully. I should probably use their water method. It's on there now. And there we go. You can get new ones of these from Corvus Oliver. You want to pop the little U-shaped piece of wire. And then what you do, that's the reason these have, why the sheet metal is puckered up. Stick it through, put the little U-shaped wire back on the back and clamp it down, and that keeps the thumb screw from coming out. But I like to add, say, flat washer with a rubber gasket on the other side. I've got a bunch around from the last time I built a grain bin, had extras. I like to put them on the back side of this, or on the screw there, like so. And stick it through the metal, then put that back on and clamp it down. The rubber, well, helps keep from scuffing the metal up, but it also keeps it from rattling and keeps it less likely for the thumb screw to come loose. I might go look at another tractor just to verify exactly where that hydropower decal goes. Probably the 1750. Well, it's just ahead of the bird poop. This is our 1750 that we bought new, and then sold it to another fellow who took good care of it, and then eventually got it back. Let's see, the certified pretty much lines up with the end of the nameplate there. Half-inch or so between the screw and the hydropower drive. I got the hydropower drive one on. The story behind the certified sticker was the 1600 kind of didn't live up to what everybody expected of it. And so beginning in the 50 series, every tractor got dynoed when it came off the line, and if it wasn't turning the power it was supposed to, they might, if it was only a couple horsepower off, they might leave it on the dyno for a little bit until things loosened up, break in a little bit, and If it needed more than that, they'd pull it back in. But until it turned the horsepower it was advertised at, they would keep working at it. And then when it was done, they would write down the serial number and how many horsepower it put out. And the inspector would initial it. And a lot of the tractors still have these stickers on, but the ink that they wrote with faded away. And so there's really not much showing anymore. Yeah, no dust there. Well, that's it. Maybe a few minor touch-up details. Like I dropped this battery cover, had to touch up the paint on that. That's drying now. Haven't fired it back up to see how good my hydraulic fixes were. Soon. There's a small drip at the back of the engine. What are the chances that'll just dry out? Or that I'll ignore it? Well, now that all the decals are applied, I've tightened up those hydraulic fittings. I think we need to give Ophelia, as we've named her, another drive. Make sure those leaks aren't leaking, and just to drive it.